Ooh,
Wow.
awesome. All right. So
That's
we are live
scary.
THC. It is in the PM, just not nearly as in the LT as it normally is, not late night. But it's still in the PM. Hopefully more people can actually join us on the live stream since we are doing it earlier in the evening and not, super late at night. We're not doing one of the late night live shows, so
Yeah.
hopefully more people can join. And not only that, but we also have a guest, which we'll get into in a minute. So well, I'm trying to see. I was gonna try to wait to see if more people jumped on so we could do the intro, but I guess in the worst case scenario they see the playback, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Always.
So yeah, Mike, I'll let you do it. Do you want to introduce our guest so I don't fuck up his name again?
Yeah, I mean,
we were trying to do this like pre-going live, and I don't get the accent down right, and then if I attempt it, I feel like I'm being racist. So, this is our good buddy though. Logo designer. He did a bunch of our logo designs. Actually, he's wearing one of them right now. Yeah, right there, hardcover comic. Mike's actually got on his shirt right now too. His logo. Yeah.
I can't show the back because of the chair, but it's there.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'll let Mike take over.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll have all the social media stuff in the description of this live stream. I'll make sure to add it so people can just see it there too. But our I guess our good online friend, our personal logo designer over in Russia, finally able to do a live stream together with at Krivtsov artwork. Damn, I probably messed it up. But anyway, it'll be written in the description. You guys can read it. You say it better than me. But yeah, welcome. Glad to have you on, man. It's nice we could do this.
I'm glad to be here. It's scary as shit.
Yeah, it's fun to do. I mean, it's always a bit weird the first time, but you get used to it. At this point, I see the comments pop up, but I pretend it's not real people watching, because then it gets weird.
Yeah, we're just having a convo.
Yeah.
So, before we jump in though and start asking questions and all that kind of fun jazz, I did want to mention, obviously, every time we do a live video, it is always brought to you guys by none other than organicpricebooks.com, who is our sponsor, Mr. JP and Company. So huge shout out to them. And they recently, I just discovered today, changed up their packaging. So I had ordered a couple books and they actually came in this afternoon, and I was unboxing them because I was like, oh, I'm going to get them ready or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And while I was doing that, I discovered that they switched up their packaging, which is actually pretty badass. So not only do you get all of the same bubble wrap and everything else like always, right? But it's a box within a box. And at first I thought, oh, I didn't order an Absolute. What the hell is this? And let me grab my cutter here, my Valiant Comics cutter. Where's the fuck did it go? Where's my box cutter?
Damn.
I don't know where my box cutter went. All right.
Someone's going to be running around with it later tonight.
Yeah, noted. But anyways, I'll kind of show you guys before I open it up. So it's kind of like a box inside a box. So there are two books in here. And they put it like in a box within a box. And then, so they put it in this, and then they put this in there. And then they wrap the whole fucking thing with bubble wrap on top of it.
Wow. So
it is really like intense packaging job, which is freaking awesome. Since I don't have my box cutter. So anyways, yeah, it's pretty freaking sweet, this new way that they're doing the packaging.
I guess tools required now, though, it sounds like.
Yeah, so then
you need a box cutter at least, or scissors.
Pull them out of your little fucking home here.
Wow.
And this is what I ended up picking up. So I actually got two things. So one, I got the new Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Omni.
Nice.
I'm very excited about this. As I've said numerous times, I'm getting rid of a lot of my physical stuff, but I will always be collecting Spider-Man, Batman, and Star Wars stuff. So, and there are so many Star Wars Omnis dropping within the next year, which is amazing. So now, aside from like the classic stuff and the UK stuff, I think I have all the current Star Wars Omnis. I think I have them all at this point.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that one. And then This was for a custom bind I got. None other than Starman Compendium Volume 2.
Hey, they actually. Oh wow, good. They actually put it the second one. That's good.
Yeah, so I have the first one. I got that one like when it first came out a
Nice.
year or so ago. And now Starman Compendium Volume 2 is out. So I
That's
can
good. What does that have? Glossy pages? Are they matte pages?
that's a great question. They're glossy, but not like heavy gloss, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They're kind of
nice.
they're thin. They're very thin. The pages are very thin.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this one collects Starman 43 to 81, Starman 1 million, All-Star Comics 80-page giant #1, JSA All-Stars 4, Starman the Mist #1, and Stars and Stripes 0. Also included is Robinson's revisit to Starman's world and Starman Con Gorilla #1 and the Shade 1 through 12.
Nice. Okay.
As
So you have the
well as
shade
the
in there.
DC Dark Horse crossover event, Batman Hellboy Starman.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Dude, this thing, no wonder the pages are thin. There's no way they could have put this in anything else, but
It's
I'm
gonna
pretty
be
sure
what?
this now covers like the entire run.
Yeah. So you'll have what, like 4 binds? 5
Probably,
binds?
yeah. So it's 2 volumes, but these are pretty thick. So I'll probably divide it into 2. And so, yeah, I'll probably do 4 binds.
That's awesome. Well, if you're hearing it here first, Organic Price Books has changed their packaging. It seems like it's even more secure now. Like the package,
way more secure.
there's
And
like
I mean, I thought it was great
Conception going
packaging
on.
to begin with, but
Yeah.
that's overkill, but like overkill in a great way, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
Step in a better direction, even. It's crazy. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Be sure to check that out. I think we'll have our promo codes down in the description below. There's 2 of them, depending on your order. It helps us, helps OPB, and helps you because it's a discount. So check them out. They're awesome.
THC2 to save the $2 or THC ship it together if you are ordering 3 or more books, and 5% off your entire order, which is actually going to save you a pretty penny because usually you're spending well over $100 when you're ordering 3 or more books. So
yeah.
So anyway,
speaking of ordering books, Mr. Krivtsov, how do you do that? I know you sent us a care package at one point with a Russian comic in it, which was awesome. It was textless, so something we could enjoy. Yeah. I was actually trying to get it as we were starting to go live, but I don't know where it is at the moment. It's somewhere hidden on my shelf, and I'd have to step away for a bit. But I did read through it. So I guess what's the scene like over in Russia for comics?
Right now, I don't know. I kind of fell out for the last 2 years. I think I was working in a local comic shop. Most part of Russian comic industry is licensed Big 2 comics.
Okay. Gotcha.
Sometimes some publishers will get Valiant or Image, but for the most part, it's just translated Big 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I figure some of the smaller companies probably can't afford to translate to every single language. So I guess are comic shops the only way to go? I mean, can people order things on Amazon if they wanted to?
Yeah, of course. Many people here collect original books in English,
right?
But the shipping costs are too high.
Right. Yeah.
When I sent those care packages to you on Christmas in 2020, I spent half of my monthly salary.
Wow! Holy shit! That's a lot. Damn. Well, thank you so much for them. I mean, it's pretty amazing what you're able to do with not only just the graphic logo design, but I mean, it seems like you're like a wizard with Photoshop. And I use Photoshop once in a while for like thumbnails and stuff. But to take a comic book cover and change the title and do all the insane stuff you did for some of these boards you sent us. I mean, holy shit, man. It's amazing stuff. Yeah. Especially knowing
So
like, how quickly you're able to do this too.
here's a little thing. I never worked or experienced Photoshop or any Adobe products. I work in
Okay.
Paint.
In Paint?
Yes.
Nah,
Holy
you're kidding,
shit.
man. Stop. That's bullshit. I don't believe that. Holy shit.
So he's the master
Hold
at
on.
Microsoft Paint.
Not Microsoft Paint. It's a little free-to-use app called Paint.net, which is kind of based on Microsoft Paint, but with with a couple of plugins like you see in Photoshop.
Oh,
Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
it's still pretty damn impressive.
Damn. I mean, it's a good alternative. I'm guessing it's free as well, or yeah. I mean, not that not that I've ever paid for Photoshop, but
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
mean,
isn't your Photoshop free?
there's yeah. I mean, there's yeah. I will say a lot of getting stuff for free is very much something I think a lot of us in the West need to thank Russians for, because I know many times in my high school and university years, I was into torrenting games, which I would never do now. But yeah, a lot of those you'd open up and it's just like, are you instructions? And it's like, I can't read these instructions on how to install this game, but thank you guys. I don't have to pay for it. Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's great though. That's crazy. Wow. I mean, this is awesome stuff. I guess in case anyone hasn't seen it before, this was the glare is terrible. This was like the Doctor turning. I mean, to do that in Paint, I can't even imagine. But I guess if there are other extensions you can get, it makes sense.
Yeah, I actually have mine taped up to the wall, so I can't pull them down. But I have the hardcover comic one, and then the McPherson one. I have it up on my wall over here, and they've been up there since the day I got them. So about 2 years now, they've been hanging up there. So yeah, man, and that heartfelt letter too that you sent us was amazing. That was very cool of you. So for anybody that's looking for like a really badass kind of logo, hit this man up. Again, all of his stuff will be in Instagram, or his Instagram handle stuff will all be in our description. And I know some other people that he's done some stuff for, a lot of bands, a lot of metal stuff, which actually brings me to my next question is how did you get started in all this? I assume it was from the metal scene, a lot of the thrash logos and death metal logos and things like that. Is that kind of how you got started in this whole world of logo work?
Yeah, my dad got me all my early music CDs, and I was always amazed by the artwork on covers. And I always wanted to do something like it, but I always was too lazy to learn how to draw properly. So I just started making logos.
Gotcha. Okay. So you would want to do the artwork ideally, but I mean it's tough. So especially those metal covers, they'll get crazy with the artwork on their demons, like skewering someone while a volcano explodes in the background. It's yeah.
So what was your first metal album? Like what did your dad introduce you to? What was your first metal album?
I was 2 years old. It was Scum by Napalm Death.
That might be the most hardcore origin story I have ever heard. I was 2 years old and I was jamming out to Napalm Death. Holy shit, that is wow. And then after that, it just is there like video or like pictures of you just like rocking out to Napalm Death at 2?
Don't think so. So basically, what happened? It was a pirate tape that that accidentally put on instead of some lullabies or shit. I don't know. what
Oh,
he was supposed to play to his 2-year-old son.
hey, that's awesome, and it's kept up since then. I mean, I'm sure you're aware Matt and I are both metalheads too. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome. I guess do you get to go to a lot of concerts in Russia? Do you remember what your first concert was?
I can't quite remember which was the first, but it's either of two, or Iron Maiden in '08 or Metallica in '08.
Okay, so I mean, either way,
That's a hell of a
I was
show,
there.
man.
either way, it's a hell of a show.
Did you say
Yeah.
you were 10?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Wow.
being 10, going to see Iron Maiden and Metallica at the age of 10. Holy shit.
This is beer
I'm actually
already.
going to see Metallica. I just got tickets, but it's not until next year. But Metallica's doing that 2-night set thing where they got like Pantera and Mammoth WVH
What was
opening
the
for them
price?
one night. Huh?
What was the price for the ticket? I saw they're going quite crazy.
Yeah, so it's actually, well, we're kind of mid nosebleeds, so we're like not quite at the top, but we're kind of, because they're not selling floor seats at all for whatever reason. So we're kind of like mid tier, and I want to say, but it's for, keep in mind, it's for 2 nights. It was $200 a ticket. So night 1 is Pantera, Mammoth WVH, and Metallica, and I think Metallica's doing like a 20-song set, and then you get a night off, and then the next night after that it's Ice Nine Kills, who I love, Five Finger Death Punch, and then Metallica again, and Metallica's going to be playing a different 20-song set, so you get to see Metallica twice, as well as these other bands for $200 is what I got. It's November and next year down in St. Louis, Missouri, so I'm pretty stoked about it though.
Nice.
I've never seen
How do
Metallica,
you
man. They're on my
feel?
bucket list. What was that?
How do you feel about this Pantera reunion show?
Oh, sorry, I didn't. What was?
Pantera reunion show?
Oh, the Pantera reunion show. Is that what you were
How do you
saying?
feel about it?
Oh, I don't know, man, because it's not Pantera, right? Obviously, Vinny and Dime have both passed, so it's obviously not Pantera. However, they got Zach Wilde taking Dime's place, which, as everybody knows, is like one of his best friends. So I thought that was pretty badass. I don't remember who they got on drums. Was it Anthrax's drummer that they got on drums?
Yeah, Charlie Benante.
Yeah. So they got him on drums, which is also pretty badass. I mean, obviously Anthrax and Pantera go back a ways. So I mean, I like how they're handling it in regards to who they got to not replace, but to, take those places since Vinny and Dime can't be there. So I mean, it's exciting and it'll be cool for the fans. I think if it would have been anybody else, especially if it was anybody else other than Zach Wilde, I don't know if it would be as dope, but I mean, it's still cool. You can't say that you saw Pantera though, because that's not, like, let's be real, that's not Pantera, right? Vinny and Dime aren't in it. It's not Pantera. I understand they got to keep the name for branding purposes and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's Pantera Light. It's Diet Pantera. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's still going to be badass. I'm still looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an amazing show no matter what. But it is, I don't know. It's not the same. And so I don't know. I get why they kept the name, but at the same time, I don't know. A lot of fans are pissed, and I can see why.
Got to make money though.
Yeah, that
What
is
are you gonna do?
So how do you feel about it? Are you excited about it? Or are you kind of like one of the fans that's like, no, this is bull crap?
I don't know. I'm excited for the fans because I always appreciated good live show, because how early I started going to concerts, I always gravitate more to a live record or going to see live shows than just listening to an album. So I I'm happy for the fans, but from a branding, family standpoint, from fact that Phil couldn't do it without Vinny passing, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
kind of like.
I
Oh,
was
go
gonna say
ahead.
maybe
Go
if they
ahead.
called it like Pantera tribute in memory of Vinny and Dime or something like that. Like I think that might have been, I don't
Right.
know. But just
Yeah.
straight up saying Pantera, I think is what's pissing off a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when I forget what band it was, if it was AC/DC or Guns N' Roses that was touring without like some of the main band members there, like they had
Oh, it was
swapped
probably
out.
Guns N' Roses back when Axl had like everybody, like he was like the only original member.
Right, yeah. He was
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, yeah.
Yeah, like the Chinese Democracy album,
Oh
and he was
god.
like the only member.
Completely forgot that album's title.
Yeah.
'Cause it was
It actually wasn't too horrible though. I will give
no.
it. I mean, it was no, use your illusion or anything, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad album. But well, getting into the world of comics, man, I know who your favorite writer of all time is, but a lot of people probably don't know. So who is your favorite comic book writer?
Garth Ennis?
Garth
I don't
Ennis.
know. I when I first started going to our local comic shop back in, I don't know, 2018, I think, I bought a couple of series by Marvel, licensed translated versions, and one of them was Punisher Max.
Yeah, Punisher Max was a great
Oh my god.
book.
Yeah.
He did some amazing. I really like Garth Ennis, but I know you're a massive fan of Crossed, which I think Mike enjoyed Crossed from what he read, but I have always struggled with that book. It's just way too graphic for me.
You stopped on like issue 1. It was like page 7 or 8 where like the mom of that family just gets like,
Yeah, it
you
just
know,
gets annihilated, and then there's
yeah.
horse cock and all this other stuff, and I was
And
like,
you're like,
dude,
I don't want to read
can't-
this
I
anymore.
can't. I let one of my buddies read it. It was like when it first came out too. I let one of my buddies read it, and he goes, "Dude, I gotta go take a shower after that." He goes, "I just feel dirty." I was like, "I know." So yeah, I struggle with that one, but a lot of people love it, man. A lot of people say that is as soon as you get over the kind of initial shock value of it, it's actually a really solid book.
Okay, I never had it. I tried before the stream to read it, to just joke a little about it, to troll Mike, but I couldn't get through the first issue. It's too bad.
Oh,
That's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's not like I've read Crossed in its entirety either. I think I read like a handful of issues, and then I think it's important for people to have an idea in your head of how bad things can get, because I think there are a lot of people in the world who just like think that everything will be awesome forever and be good all the time. And then reading a Garth Ennis book like Cross, you're like, imagine if this happened. Like this is like there are people who have this mindset without some sort of divine supernatural comic book story to make characters act crazy and like hurt other people and stuff like that. Garth Ennis is so great for that because his mind is always in like the worst part of human behavior. So whenever you read one of his books, you just know you're gonna be like, man, my life is so good. Can you imagine? Like his brain went to this place. Like my brain never goes and thinks about these things like horsecock. My brain has never thought about that, but his did. you know, uh, it's just an interesting perspective to know. Like, hey, there's this extreme crap, this extremely scary stuff that people think about and people do, and these crazy ass scenarios you can think about. So I always appreciate Ennis for that because it's brace yourself whenever you read one of his books.
well, and when we met Garth Ennis, was it last year that we met him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we met Garth Ennis, he had first of all, a really cool guy, very nice guy. But he also had a panel that he did that you and I went to, and he was talking about kind of why he has that sort of
Right.
worst of humanity
Right.
mindset type thing, and it's due to growing up in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And it was he said it was a crazy time when he grew up. He said he was always safe because like they lived like out in the country, but he said like they were like what 20 minutes or something like that from
Yeah.
like where everything popped off and like during the 80s and whatnot. So he said it was just absolutely just bonkers.
Yeah. He said
And
they were hearing about like murders every other day or something like that.
yeah,
Crazy shit
so
like
when
that.
you grow up in that kind of environment, that's probably why he had that outlook that he did. Which is crazy. Oh, dude, I did hear he's coming back this year.
Planet Comic-Con?
Yeah,
Nice.
him and Roy Thomas. It was just announced. I was like, oh shit,
I'll actually
back.
bring some custom binds for him this time.
Yeah, I got Hitman last time.
Have him sign my demon,
unfortunately, but you know.
But yeah, Punisher Max. So I guess aside from Ennis, because I know when we've spoken to you, you've mentioned liking Ennis. Are there any other writers you like to keep up with if you ever have time? I know you're busy with logos.
As I said, I kind of fell off for the last 2.5 years. But my favorite, besides Ennis, always was Ed Brubaker.
Okay.
Yeah, Brubaker is fantastic, and that's another dude with a crazy background story, man, about like how he used to be an addict and all that kind of crazy shit that he went through. But yeah, he's another absolutely amazing writer.
Yeah.
I love Brubaker stuff.
Yeah, no, Brubaker's amazing. I guess do you like when you read comics, American comics? I guess like from the perspective of someone who's grown up in Russian culture, which is not entirely different from Western culture. I'm not going to say American because Canada and America are kind of the same. But like, does it? I guess are there parts of it that I guess at times don't make sense to you? Because I know personally, being a Canadian, hearing about things that happen like in Poland, for example, like it doesn't even make sense to me because it's just so far removed from the way of life that I'm used to. Like when you're reading, especially like a Brubaker book, which will go back in time even to like old US, like 1970s, 1980s. I guess are there things you notice like has anything stood out for you when you read like books based on, I don't know, America or?
Don't think so, because from my early childhood, I was always obsessed with 19th, 20th century sci-fi literature.
Okay.
And this kind of books gave me overall idea of what world is like outside Russia.
Gotcha.
And we traveled a lot till I was 16, I think. We traveled half of Europe and Cuba and many more places. So I was always open for the culture, information from other parts of the world.
Gotcha.
And
that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a nice thing about growing up, I guess. Yeah, if you were 10 in 08, that means you're by far the youngest one on this live stream. I'm so used to having that title, it feels weird.
Yeah,
But
normally it's Mike. I'm the old man. I'll always be the old man.
I guess you've grown up with the world open to you, so yeah. I guess until recently, when things got a little crazy for a while. I know when the action started breaking out, we were getting a bit worried. Like, what's going to happen? Is he not on social media anymore? Are we never going to hear from him again? Holy shit, this is crazy. But it seems like there was kind of like a crazy time, and then you came back. You've been doing logos. I mean, how many logos have you done at this point? Like 7,000?
Now I'm sitting at 527. I just
That's
finished
crazy.
today another one. It's 8 years of work.
Wild.
And yeah.
And you've
But
done some for clothing brands, right? There was a clothing brand that you were working with, wasn't there?
yeah, what's funny is that about 80% of my commissions is coming from clothing brands, not musical bands.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Is that the style that's coming? Are we on the cutting edge of future fashion trends? Metal.
I think it started around 2010 when celebrities start wearing Morbid Angel and Iron Maiden, Metallica shirts in the public,
Right.
and everyone saw this type of design. And metal always had such cool artwork or logos because they always were underdogs. They had to somehow grab your attention when you came to music shop.
Right. Yeah.
If you compare any metal cover to average pop music cover, it's night and day.
Right.
Basically, every pop music cover is just a photo of an artist.
Right.
With a stock font on top of it.
The good thing about metal too is even though it's like the genre is metal, the variety, the style changes so much. Like you can have like a band like Behemoth on one end. I don't know if you guys know that band.
Oh yeah.
And then have another band like a day to remember, which is more pop, whereas Behemoth is like hardcore death metal, satanic death metal. Like you don't want your grandma hearing this stuff. So and that art style on those covers will be entirely different too, but it'll still kind of have that like creativity of, hey, look at this album cover because it's metal and you might not like the way it sounds, but the art's cool, so look at it. So that's a really cool thing about it too. So many styles within metal.
Yeah, one of my favorite artists, I got like some of his tattoos on my arm. Derek Hess, he did back in the day, he did tons of album covers for bands. Everything from like Helmet all the way up to one of my favorite bands, In Flames. So and everything in between. He did stuff for a lot of different bands, but he did the Clarity album.
So you are more on the melodic side of metal music?
It depends. The older I get, the more melodic, yes. When I was younger, I was very much into more of like the real heavy stuff because I was young and I had that young man angst and pissed offness or whatever, so I just wanted to take on the world. But the older I get, the more I'm in, like I like both. But the older I get, I kind of like a nice mix, if that makes sense, which is why I really dig In Flames' stuff from like the last 10 plus, well, ever since really kind of Come Clarity, which was what, 2006. Well, no, because Soundtrack to Your Escape was 2003, and that, well, yeah, so I mean, I like a mix where it can be melodic, but then they can also just like go all out, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I really like the kind of the mixture of the two. I don't listen to a lot of hardcore stuff anymore. It's too, I don't know. Like I said, the older I get, the more mellow I get. What?
Wage War's kind of hard. They're a bit more on the hardcore side of things.
Yeah. Oh, and I absolutely love Wage War. They're amazing. Speaking of, did you see their stripped album, their acoustic album? Oh, that's right. You're gonna go see the acoustic show live, you son of a bitch. But yeah, I'm an eclectic. I love all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Metal's like my favorite genre, but I love all styles of music. I love acoustic stuff. I love everything like that.
So progressive of you, Matt.
I know, right? Well,
I like everything except for country.
See, and I don't like current country. I don't even call current country because it's not. It's pop. but like
True.
I love like old country, like outlaw country, like Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, that kind of shit.
Sure. Yeah.
And then there's some people that are more folk. Like I discovered lately how much I love folk music. Well, depending on who it is. Like so I got really big into, like in the last year, I got really big into Amigo the Devil, who's fucking awesome. So I went and actually saw him live not too long ago, and he had a guy opening up for him by the name of Willie Carlisle. And Willie Carlisle is like your old school throwback folk guy. He's young though. He's like 30, but he's like your old young like throwback folk style singer.
Mhm.
And that dude is so fucking good. I enjoyed his show so incredibly much. And then I got into another guy, Benjamin Todd, who's also freaking phenomenal and is like a folk singer. And I was like, God, I love this music. Like, but if you would have asked me that when I was, Creep Stop stage, as I said it wrong again, I would have been like, this music sucks. But like the older I get, the more I'm like, oh dude, I love this kind of stuff. So I just kind of, I don't know, I keep maturing, I guess. And my taste change the older I get.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty open to music except for country. I just don't. I mean, maybe some Johnny Cash.
Oh, dude, you gotta love Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Johnny Cash.
Yeah. I mean, it had like substance. You're right. Like modern countries just about like
Red,
their truck.
it's about She Loves Me for My Tractor and Red
Yeah,
Solo
shit
Cup
like
and all
that.
this other shit. I'm like, that's like pop music basically, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
pop
yeah.
music with a twang.
Yeah.
And so I personally, I know there's a huge market for it, and props to those guys, but it's not for me. But I do like, and I like older stuff, like some 90s and 80s country too, like old Garth Brooks and stuff. I like that because it told a story,
Right.
It wasn't like she thinks my tractor's sexy or whatever the fuck it is.
Right, yeah.
Like that's why I love metal music, because it always tells a story, whether
Yeah.
it's emotions, whether it's like Ice Nine Kills, where they're literally telling a story, with their albums and things like that, with like based on the horror movies, which I'm a massive horror fan, so love that. Or it's bands like Wage War, where they're talking about fucking depression and bipolar and all that shit. And so yeah, like I just love that they can tell a story. That's the stuff I like. I like storytelling. I guess maybe that's why I like comics. I like storytelling.
Yeah. It's why you like Bert Kreischer as well.
Yeah, dude. My mom just got me a Machine shirt. Fucking
Nice.
I bought a ticket because Bert Kreischer was filming his new Netflix special here in Omaha. And so I bought a ticket, and I had I was gonna go by myself. I had an amazing seat. It was like 4th row, like it was incredible, right? Then I found out without even thinking, because I bought it really late at night. I might have been drinking, who's to say? I find out the next day when I woke up and started looking at my ticket. I go, son of a bitch, that's the same date that I'm in Baltimore. So I couldn't go because I was in Baltimore during that time. So I ended up gifting it to my mom, and I was like, here, you don't know who he is, but you'll love him. Go check him out, whatever. So she ended up going to the show, laughed her ass off, said it was amazing.
Awesome.
And then bought me a Bert Kreischer The Machine shirt. And so now I have a Machine shirt, which is awesome. So if anybody doesn't know the Machine story about Bert Kreischer and the Russian mafia, go check out Bert Kreischer The Machine. It's absolutely great.
That movie comes out soon, I think, right?
Oh yeah. I forgot that he did that.
Yeah.
It's the movie's like biographical / embellished a lot.
It's
so it's not like 100%.
Not that the stand-up bit isn't embellished either.
I don't think the stand-up is, because he even said, he goes, people saw my live show and like they stood up and were like, I was with you on that trip and you robbed me on the train.
Okay.
All right. Like he's had people verify that that story is legit.
Hey, fair enough.
But yeah, so anyways, good stuff there. What else?
I did want to ask Truth Stuff. Have you ever like tried to redesign the logo from like one of like a comic title, like take the Punisher logo and put your own spin on it? Is that something I just haven't looked at on your Instagram account?
No, I don't think so. For the most part, if I ever did something with already existing logo, I remake it to fit the title, like with the hardcover comic and
Gotcha.
some other brands.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember. God, it was a couple years ago now. I wish I have it in my shirt somewhere. I think it's in my closet upstairs. But the custom bind demon whole thing, the CBD shirt, man. That
Got a
was
print
like
one
a
of those.
massive collaborative effort because that was like really multi-international because
Yeah.
you had like myself here in the US, you had Mike in Canada, you had you in Russia, and then you had, where was your buddy located at that did the demon artwork?
The artwork was made by Yekagor. He's an artist from Moscow, from Russia, and the emblem circular logo on the back, THCCBD, was made by a logo designer from Poland.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Poland. Yeah. So it was just like super multinational, but it was awesome. And
I
that's
gotta
like one of
print
my
that.
favorite
Yeah.
shirts. And it's funny because like when I would wear it, people would be like, what does your shirt say? Because like they're like trying to like read it, as I'm walking by, and I'll be like, oh, the custom bind demon, and they go, I'm like,
It's one of the most readable of my logos.
what was that?
Yeah.
It's one of the most readable of my
Oh
logos.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. If you know what though, a custom bind demon, like of all the demons that people have come up with, that's got to be one of the best ones out there, right? I mean, what he wants to bind. If you have papers in your hand, he's gonna bind them. Like that's the worst thing that'll happen. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got like, that's like probably like the one that's like, there's always one that's like trying to escape hell and like come hang out on Earth because they're like, I don't want to be in
Yeah.
hell. Like I was born this way, dude. I don't want to be here. Like that would be him. Like if they ever
Right.
did like a sitcom of like the custom bind demon, that would be him. Oh shit, that'd be funny. There's that show that used to be on called See Your Pretty Face in Hell. Did you ever see that show?
Haven't heard
Oh,
of that.
dude,
No.
it's funny, but it's like kind of the same thing. It's like these like this nice guy who's like a demon, but he's like, hey guys, like how's it going? And it's like so there's like a whole character of demons in that show and stuff. So it would
Okay,
be really funny
yeah.
if like the custom bind demon just made like a cameo appearance and that you just see him fucking sewing books and shit. That would be so incredible. Do we know anybody that makes shows? Can we pitch that to a studio?
Do we know anybody that makes shows? Hey, YouTube. James Gunn, if you're watching and we know you are.
Oh, speaking of James Gunn, holy fuck. Okay, so there is some breaking, no, I don't know about breaking, but there's some news that dropped this week. Couple things actually that dropped this week concerning James Gunn and the DC universe. Which actually that's an excellent segue into this show. So Henry Cavill posted on social media announcing officially that he had a meeting with James Gunn and somebody else, I don't recall who, and said that he is officially done playing Superman. Like his time is over. They've decided to go in a different direction, I guess. And he kept saying something in the post about passing the torch. And so I'm like, so that means that they're bringing somebody. That means they're not getting rid of Superman in general. Like they're getting somebody else to play Superman entirely because he kept talking about passing the torch. But that doesn't make sense to me because, well, I don't know. It's not really much of a. I mean, it is a spoiler, but it's not because the fucking movie's been out for a few months now, and it's on HBO Max. But have you guys all seen Black Adam?
I'm watching it tonight.
Okay. Well, there's an after credit scene. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Pay attention to that. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
So I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Well, it's not unusual. They don't know what they're doing at WB. I feel like.
Well, apparently James Gunn, whoever this other person is the ones that are kind of in charge. Like, you know how they kind of gave Kevin Feige the Marvel universe and said, here you go. Like, they're, from my understanding, they're now kind of doing that with James Gunn with the DC universe. They're kind of saying, like, here you go.
But they had done that with Snyder, and then they just said, never mind, actually. But
well, true, but Snyder stuff, I mean, granted, the Snyder cut was better than the shit they put out, but Snyder stuff wasn't really doing very well, whereas James Gunn made Peacemaker, which was by far one of the greatest shows of 2022. You've seen Peacemaker, right?
Not all of it, no.
Oh my fuck, dude. Have you seen Peacemaker?
No.
No, oh, it's fucking great. It's hilarious. It's wonderful. It's everything you'd want. And then he did Suicide Squad 2, which that had like a pretty big hit to it or whatever, right? So there was that, and then the Peacemaker spinoff, and then he blew stuff up with Guardians. So the guy knows what he's doing and how to make like fun superhero stuff, right? Well, then the other news that I read today concerning James Gunn is that I don't know the whole story behind it, but apparently he had a very massive hand in the cancellation of the Batman Beyond movie. They were supposed to be doing a Batman Beyond movie, and apparently it's now been canceled because he's taking this universe in a different direction, and he didn't want to do a Batman Beyond movie, which sucks because I was really looking forward to a live action Batman Beyond movie. Like, if done correctly, that would be just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing, though, is if done correctly. You know?
True. But
I mean, hopefully James stole enough information and knowledge from Marvel to just help DC out. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, then the other thing is
I am excited to see Momoa as Lobo, though. I'd love to see that. Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Okay,
isn't that a confirmed new casting?
You're joking, right?
That's real, I think.
Is it? Is that breaking news? Is Mike dropping some knowledge right now? Because he's fucking Aquaman. How is he supposed to be Lobo?
I guess it's rumored. Sorry, guys.
I was gonna say he's Aquaman. How the hell is he gonna be?
He would
Lobo?
be such a great Lobo, though. He'd be an amazing Lobo.
He would be a badass Lobo.
He's got the perfect personality for it. Screw Aquaman. Screw that fish, man.
Yeah, well, they're coming out with Aquaman 2. That's in the works. Then you got Shazam 2 that's going to be dropping. But
is Flash ever coming out?
That's the thing, especially with all the drama that happened with what's
WB's in trouble. Yeah, what's their name? Ezra Miller. Yeah, Ezra Miller's out of control.
Lost his damn mind. So
starting communes and cults and letting babies suck on bullets.
Them canceling it entirely, but they're like, well, the movie's already been shot, so if we cancel it entirely, like, that's just a ton of like wasted money, you know what I mean? Like, that's millions of dollars down the drain.
Well, they did that with Batgirl.
They recast him, and then they just, because obviously he's going to be in the majority of the scenes in the movie, but he's not going to be in every scene, so it's not like you have to refilm the entire movie. And the superhero shots where he's running in the uniform and the costume, like, you could probably get away with some like just digital face replacement. You ain't got, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of options that you could probably do to still get away with it.
Yeah. And Chewy just commented, Henry Cavill quit The Witcher to do Man of Steel 2, which is true. But I did see that Henry Cavill is moving on to a Warhammer movie universe, Warhammer 40K. So I think that's his next big project, is he's going to be leading that universe from an actor perspective. I saw him post that yesterday.
Well, hopefully that goes well. I don't know much about the universe, but
yeah, it's been around for decades, but I don't know. I honestly wish him all the best, because he was great in Witcher as a Polish person who read like the original Polish novels and stuff, played the video games. It's an intellectual property from Poland that my dad is very proud of, and I thought he crushed it in the Netflix series. So it's a shame. It would have been nice to see him continue spearheading The Witcher, but what can you do?
Yeah. Look, Andrew, our boy Andrew, just jumped in and said that the Snyderverse will officially end after Aquaman 2. Then the new reality will set in. Gunn said that a young Superman movie is in the works.
I mean, that's what they got to do, is they need a young cast, right? Like they did like this like retirement league.
Retirement
with the
Maybe
Snyder.
that's how they get Momoa to come back as Lobo, because it's a brand new universe. If Snyderverse ends with Aquaman 2, that's how they bring in Momoa as Lobo, because they're like, oh well, this is like the new 52 reboot. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So they could. That's how they get him in as Lobo. As long as they do it as old school Lobo, not new 52 Twilight Lobo.
Do you think they'll do like at the end of if Aquaman 2 is the last movie, do you think they'll do like a post-credit scene where it's like the Flash breaking the multiverse or something and causing the refresh or something like that, like a Flashpoint kind of thing?
I mean, honestly, that's how they could get away with it.
Yeah, but they're not going to put that much. I mean, James Gunn might put that much thought into it. We'll see.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
We'll see if they'll even bother to put that much care into it.
Let's see. So we got some Warhammer stuff. Oh, I sense a flashpoint. Sorry. Warhammer series on Prime.
There you go.
I don't know. So you're confirming, Jesus, that it is on Prime, or that you're just saying like it'd be dope if it was on Prime? This is the first I've heard about a Warhammer series at all. I don't know anything about it. This is the first I've heard of it. And then we got another super laugh hard. I am half Polish. Did you know that Alan Moore has been confirmed as one of the writers? See, he says Netflix Warhammer. So is it Netflix? Prime? What the fuck is going on?
They're each doing one, man. Come on. every streaming service is doing a Warhammer series with Henry Cavill.
Man.
Damn.
So do you have any other like nerd things about you that you like? So obviously you like comics, but like, are you into like any of the shows? Are you into D&D, Warhammer, anything like that?
Not so much.
He's like, no, I'm metalhead.
Ivan.
Metalhead pussy.
Yeah. Even the last show based on comics, so I saw was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man when it was coming out. So basically, what, 15 years or something.
I guess, yeah. I guess what I'm so curious. I just wonder, like, what's like a week in the life of Krivtsov look like? You know, you're doing logos. What else do you get up to? Because you know, your country right now is in a very interesting state. You know, and we don't have to get into that too much. I don't want to tread too much into those waters, because you know, you never know how things go. But what's like a week for you? Like what do you get up to? What are you into? Yeah.
So without going too deep into political stuff, for all those wondering, I don't support any of our government's actions. But we are silenced here. We can speak our mind in the public, so that's why you never see any public posts about it. And when it all started, my life changed quite significantly. I can't get paid from abroad, so I don't get money from my logo work. So for the most part, usually my week is just a normal week at day job and doing logos in the night. Right now I'm unemployed, so I just wake up every day and go straight into making logos. And talking about payment, what we are doing now, I'm raising money for charity with my logo work. If you need a logo, you can donate absolutely any amount of money, from $1 to anything you want, to any charity organization. Send me any proof, screenshot, or what have you to me, and I'll make you a logo.
Damn.
Holy shit.
That's beautiful, man.
No doubt.
Wow.
So here is a man that his country is and like Mike said, an interesting state. Because of that state, you are not able to earn money based off your work. So, like you said, you were currently unemployed, and you can't make money off your freelance work, but you love making logos. You love doing that, style and things like that. And so, in order to keep doing that and to give back to the fucking world, you're like, donate to any charity you want. You're not even picking the charity. You're telling people donate to any charity they want, anywhere between $1 to $1 bajillion, and you will do a logo for them just because they're helping out and they donated something to a charity, no matter what charity that is.
Exactly.
Holy fuck, man.
Crazy, man. Damn.
That is, I mean, that's amazing, but
Yeah.
that makes me almost want to cry because that's a fucked up thing. Like, it's, I don't know. Sorry.
It's a very beautiful thing.
It is,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah.
And I sincerely hope that everybody here takes advantage of that. Go find a charity that means something to you and donate something. Like he said, even $1. Go donate something to a charity that means something to you.
Yeah.
Send him a screenshot of your donation. Again, we'll have all the handles and things posted in Instagram or in our description, and then send it to him on Instagram or what have you, and he'll do you guys some cool shit.
Hey, and if you don't know what to get a logo for, you give someone a birthday card or a gift with a custom logo and a story like this behind it. Man, that's a great gift to give someone, knowing you also, helped a charity and got, I mean, it's that's incredible, man. That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So you can get a logo for yourself. You can get a logo for the metalhead in your life.
Exactly. Just get yourself a a logo and make it your desktop background, whatever.
Yeah.
Get a new business card made. The nice.
So is that like is that kind of your motivation right now? Is just logo work? Is that like kind of like what you're like, that's kind of what's driving you right now with everything going on?
Yeah, I was able to save some amount of money to live right now without having to find a new job, which is kind of dangerous with all the mobilization stuff going on. It's slowed down right now, but will start again in January most likely, and I will have to hide again, literally hide in a forest for my life, because choice is quite dark. Either you die on the front or go to jail for 15 years.
Right.
So,
Damn.
That's why I continue doing this. I hope I will be able to make it to 10 years of Crypts of Artwork. We just celebrated 8 years with my first real-life exhibition to celebrate 8 years and 500 logos made.
Yeah, that was very cool. It's awesome that you were able to do an exhibition, I guess, during this interesting state and everything that's been happening. I guess, did you like for this exhibition? Did you? I mean, how many logos did you end up having with you in your area?
I think it was around 100 because printing it all out was quite expensive.
Sure.
And there just wasn't enough space to handle all of them. But
right,
it was quite amazing.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
was that held like in a art gallery or like where was that held at?
It's a little bar / art space, and right in the middle of Moscow. So cool location, beautiful people that are always happy to make something positive in that space. So they were open to do it. We ended up with just 5 people coming, but it's still an achievement for me.
No, man, that's
Sure.
really freaking cool. And I love the fact that it's like in a bar as well, because I love beer. So the fact that it's like in a bar and art space is just super cool. I love that.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember when Matt and I, when we were doing a podcast with two other guys, we one year had a booth at a Comic-Con in this North Virginia NovaCon.
Yep.
And I remember thinking, driving there, I'm like, I'm going to meet these three guys I've never met before in my life. We have a booth at a con for a
We had met
podcast.
previously, hadn't we?
You and I?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because you came down. Yeah, the first time we met was when the first year of Planet Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right. That was
Yeah,
year
so
four,
you and I
guys.
had met, but we had never met Red.
That's right. Yeah, Red.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it is weird. It was kind of the same thing where we had a handful of people come up to us, but it still felt crazy to just be part of something bigger than just you at home talking to a microphone or, making a logo by yourself. Yeah. That's amazing, man. Well, I mean, it is like hopeful that things are still happening despite, the state that your country is in. And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Basically, I did it just to, I don't know, celebrate life in the middle of hell. You always have something to look up to.
Right. Yeah, I guess what you mentioned that at 2 you started listening to heavy metal, which can typically be kind of dark. It sounds like you kind of stuck around in that dark headspace, but you're doing like some of the most beautiful things I've heard a human do for other human beings in a long time, with like doing free work for charities, I guess, basically. I mean, what is there anything that like inspired you to push past all the darkness that can be in the world, and like especially at a time like this where you're still trying to do things for other people and not yourself?
So basically what happened and why we started the thing with charity, when it all started, special military operation, we can call it what it actually is. I had commission from this guy from Australia, and he was logo was done. He was ready to send me a second half of money, but PayPal left Russia, and I couldn't get second payment. And I was willing to send him files for free, but he wouldn't accept it. So what we came up with, he donated to United Nations charity organization, and then get his files.
Wow.
And when it all started, it turned so dark just in a moment. And what it took for me to keep going was just one random coworker holding a door for me and having a little chat to keep me going and pushing further. It's just little things like this can make someone's day, and then these people will make someone else's day. And little by little, we can turn the world into a little brighter place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to forget that, though, right? I mean, especially in it's definitely very hard to forget that. Sometimes I'll forget. I mean, in terms of like, we're obviously in being in Canada, it's a very different time for us here, but something like, the big thing for us is like tipping people, right? If you have a good server at a restaurant, tip them. And it's like, it seems like such an annoying thing to give someone like that bigger tip. But at the end of the day, like that person is working very hard all day and getting paid very little by the restaurant that employs them. And you giving them that nice tip can change their day, can change their week entirely. And you're doing that on a completely different level. I'm just so shocked. It's just it's amazing. In case anyone's tuning in, donate to a charity. Send a screenshot to Krivtsov, and if you want a logo, he'll make one for you. That's amazing. Yeah,
that is absolutely incredible. So when someone does, donate to a charity or what have you, and they send you a screenshot and they're like, make a logo of whatever the heck it is, does that kind of like make, you were talking about how it can make someone's day and motivate them and put a smile on someone. Does that put a smile on your face? If someone were to message you and be like, hey, I donated $5 to United Nations or whatever, and
Yeah, of course.
whatever.
When I first put the announcement of this whole charity thing, I was at work, and suddenly this I'm getting the messages again and again, and at the end of the day, I had about 30 commissioned logos from these donations in one day.
Wow.
We raised about $500 just in one day.
Wow, that's
awesome.
amazing. Just from logo work. That's amazing, man.
And but that kind of stuff, put a smile on your face though, to see that people were doing this and like wanting your art and donating to charities and stuff. Like, like I said, you're in a pretty dark time at this moment. So does that kind of help motivate you then and kind of keep you going on a day-to-day basis too?
Yeah. I was raised on all these sci-fi books, which always showed me that there's always something interesting and positive in this world. And you just have to push through anything dark that's going on right now, and there will be something positive.
Yeah. It's tough to. I think that's one of the best things about I'll say comics, but I guess fiction in general, right? Is you can get those kind of lessons from like these absurd situations where like Jimmy Olsen is watching Doomsday kill everyone, and he's the only one left who has to save the world, and how am I going to do this? And he figures out a way. I mean, it's an absurd situation, but it kind of makes you realize that, hey, sometimes, like you said, yeah, you just got to move on with what you've got in life, make the most of it, and have hope that there's something good at the end of it. That's amazing. It's great that you've been able to keep that kind of positive attitude in a time like now. I mean, I can't even. It's so hard for me to even like. I'm asking you things like, what's like a week in your life, because I can't even imagine what it's like to, be in a country that's in a state of war. I mean, Canada especially is they're just gonna. If anyone ever threatens Canada, they're just gonna bend over and say, "Yeah, take it all. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just take it. We don't really care." But yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I guess in terms of, I know I think I had messaged you maybe a year ago or so, and just kind of asking you about things and internet. I mean, are you able to get anywhere you need to on the internet? Are you? I mean, you're on StreamYard with us right now, so it's a good sign. But
Instagram and Facebook are banned here, and about 1,200 more websites are banned here right now.
So are you accessing Instagram via like an IP or like a
VPN?
like an IP
VPN, yeah.
VPN?
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I guess so. So if you wanted to, you could probably, just go on websites that are probably highly controlled. Information is, selected. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't want to get on the wrong side of anybody. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's good. I'm kidding.
It's
I'm
just a
sure it'll be
sad
fine.
thing all the way
It
around.
is. Yeah.
But I can kind of turn this around and spin it a little more positive here. So to also talk about his caring and giving heart, before we jumped on, he had said, he wanted to do a giveaway. It's that time of year, man. So he wanted to do a giveaway. And a couple years ago, we did a giveaway and he had won one of the books, which was the deluxe edition of Black Magic, Greg Rucka, Nicholas Scott. And it couldn't get shipped to him or what have you. So he said, you know what? You're not gonna be able to get it to me now. He goes, let's just give it away to somebody else. Also, a while back, like a year or so ago, he had ordered some Garth Ennis trade paperbacks on in stock trades and had them sent over to my house because we were gonna try to do a custom bind for him and get him autographed by Garth and things like that. And needless to say, the custom buying thing and whatnot didn't pan out. So again, he said, you know what? Let's give them away. It's that time of year. It's season's greetings. So we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. So I got to find, they're all put away in my closet over here, but, I might actually have the Garth Ennis trades handy, but the one is going to be the Black Magic, deluxe edition, which is a fantastic book. It came out of my personal stash that we did a giveaway on. It's just kind of been sitting here. Amazing title though. And then let me see if I can go find these trade paperbacks real quick. So 1 second.
Sure. I was gonna say I could probably give away a couple things too. Got some.
How's your drumming going?
My what? My drumming?
Yeah.
Oh, my drumming's been great. I'm trying to very slowly get better. I've had drums for 2 years now. It's like an electronic set, so I don't actually get to hit actual percussions, but it makes the sound that you would expect it to. But it's been good. I mean, I got a double bass pedal last year, so I've been able to actually play songs that I want to play, although I'm not very good at them. But it's fun. It's a good time. Do you play any instruments?
No, I always was too lazy to learn anything. I had a chance to learn drums, so got about 2 lessons and then quit, and that's all.
Yeah,
I'm more of a consumer than producer of music.
Sure. Yeah, I when I was a kid growing up, my parents signed me up for like piano lessons. And that was brutal because like the piano is a really nice instrument, and if you can play it well, it's a really beautiful instrument. But growing up as a kid, I enjoyed Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit and Metallica and Children of Bodom, and playing piano is like I can't. Playing piano is fine, but like how many times can I play In the End by Linkin Park? I want to play guitar, I want to play drums, I want to play bass. Give me something that I can play my favorite songs to. So that's been my favorite thing with drums, is being able to actually, play songs that if I was listening to the song, my feet would be doing the bass pedals, or my hands would be pretending to play, whatever it might be, snare and cymbal. So it's nice to be able to finally try and play some songs by bands like, I don't know. I don't want to list. I can't even list them. At the Gates. Damn it, Septic Flesh. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of crazy bands. That's one thing that's really cool about metal too, is that I feel like it's made me realize just how cool some of the shit humans can do is. That's one of the coolest things about metal, is seeing like how far people can push instruments, because if there's any part of music that's pushing the guitar to the limit, it's heavy metal. Like nowhere else is the guitar being pushed to the absolute maximum functionality. It's heavy metal. When they're
Blues?
doing blues, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's it, yeah. Different kind of technique, right? I mean, more soulful, playing with timing a bit more, and time signatures. Yeah.
Same thing with drums, though, man. I know you probably know who he is, Mike, and you might as well, but I recently discovered, God, what was his, the Groove Father. I don't remember his name, but the dude drums with one hand. And people are like, "Oh, can you play Slipknot with one hand?" He goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "Brrr." Like he does it all one-handed.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
That dude is intense. I went down like a major rabbit hole with him recently.
That guy must make himself come in like 5 seconds, huh?
Dude, that
He just fucking
that or he's got serious rug burn.
yeah, it's disintegrated at this point. He just burnt it off.
It's like the Flash.
That guy's starting fires with his bare hands.
Don't remind me. Smoking.
Oh. Sorry, go ahead. What was that?
Is it okay if I smoke?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Sure, yeah. Do your thing.
All right, so I did find it. Black Magic Deluxe right here,
Nice.
giving away. Then we have also got the other ones that he is donating for us. So we have Garth Ennis, Caliban, Garth Ennis, and Jason Burrows, 303.
I completely forgot what I ordered.
And then we've also got Volume 1, Volume 2, and then it looks like a mini of Garth Ennis is Chronicles of Wormwood. So
I don't think I've ever read that. Interesting.
we got those to be giving away as well. And then I was looking to see if I have anything. Unfortunately, I've given a lot of the stuff that I've given away already. So I don't really have much more to give for giving away. But
let me see what I can grab.
I do have this. I can do the Rorschach Deluxe Edition, Tom King's Rorschach. This is actually a really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it is that time of season for giving. So I was like, you know what? I can part with that one. Like I said, unfortunately, though, a lot of my books, I'm trying to thin out the herd, right? But I've already given a lot of them away. That or I need the money for them because I want to upgrade my mic or, something else. But yeah, all the ones that I would give away, I've given away already. I don't buy as much.
One thing.
What was that?
One thing why I was afraid to come onto the show, because I don't have camera or mic. It was just spontaneous idea to ask you about it on a live show. But
yeah, no, you're good, man. All good. Don't even worry about it. So we gotta figure out how are we gonna give these away. What do we want to do? Obviously,
okay, for the Garth Ennis trade paperbacks, first one to name.
Do you want to do them all in one lump sum?
First one to type in the chat full line of Teutonic Big Four of thrash metal.
So first person who can name the Big Four of thrash metal, the Godfathers of thrash, gets these here.
Not American Big Four.
Oh, not American.
Big Four. German one.
German Big Four. Holy shit! I'd have to Google that one. I could do the American Big Four. I have to fucking Google that one. All right, everybody. Google is allowed.
Now, Gabriel, as I already said it, I'm too lazy to learn how to properly draw characters or artwork. I'm just a letterhead. I can't make comic.
Oh, there you go. German Big Four. Mike, do you even know the German Big Four thrash metal artists?
No.
Neither do I.
Beach Boys Comics got it.
Oh shit, there is somebody in there. He's got it. Tank. Here, we'll throw it up.
Oh,
Tankard,
Creator I've
Sodom,
heard of.
Destruction, and Creator.
Creator I've heard of. Great band.
All right, Beach Boys Comics. If you're not already following us on Instagram, please follow us on Instagram at the Hardcover Comic. Shoot us a message. I'll get your address and stuff, and we can get these all sorted out for you.
Nice. That's sick. Is that the first one?
That was the first one, yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna let you decide again since this was your book. Black Magic Deluxe. Book of Shadows. Oh, even has the ribbon bookmark. Beautiful book. Really good story. I actually love this title. How do you want to give this one away?
You decide. I ran out of ideas.
All right, Mike, what do you want to do? How do you want to give this away?
Do you think anyone would remember what the lineups are that you're seeing for Metallica?
Oh, from earlier in the show. All right, so I'm seeing a total. Hang on, let me think. I'm seeing a total of 1, 2, 3, 5 bands. If you can name 4 of the 5 bands that we talked about earlier that I'll be seeing live, you can win the Black Magic Deluxe. Ooh, open to UK viewers. I would say yes, because I'd be willing to ship it, but you'd have to help me out with shipping, and I don't know if it would be worth it to you or not. That's the thing. If you find that it would be worth it to you, then yeah, I'm not opposed to shipping it and paying for some of the shipping, but I just know shipping internationally, it gets pricey. So I don't know if it would be worth it to you or not. But if you do find that it is worth it to you, hell yeah, it's open. He's like, nope, it's all good. I don't blame you, man.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't think anybody remembers. We've had a lot of people drop off and join in though, so maybe it's like we just have different people watching. I don't know, man. How do we want to do this?
I mean, do we want to do who knows who Krivtsov's favorite I guess American comic writer is?
There you go. So there you go. Answer that one. Who is his favorite American comic book writer? This was discussed earlier in the show.
I guess is there any sort of Russian comic publisher, or is it just mostly indie stuff like that book you sent us?
It's mostly indie stuff because here, as I said, for the most part, it's just a licensed series. Here, comics publishing is structured not like in the US, where you have your single issues every week.
Gotcha. I guess is there a big market for like fiction novels though, or is writing just not like a big thing? I guess our writers not something that Russians want to become.
We had quite a big wave of fiction writers in 2000s, but right now I
Right.
don't think so.
Right. Gotcha. It's a different time. Yeah, I know a lot of. I mean, a lot of must-read novels are by Russian authors, right? So there was that wave where there was a lot of amazing work coming from Russia. Yeah, I guess what is like what is Russia's like artistic output now? You know, is there anything that mainly is the artistic field?
To be honest, I don't follow even Russian metal scene for the last 5 years at all, so I don't know.
Gotcha. You're you're becoming American in spirit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I
Man,
mean,
nobody wants to win these books, I guess.
yeah. Well, we could come up with another question.
All right, let's just do like superhero trivia.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, hell yes. Mike, this was remember in regards to the custom Judge Dreads?
Ooh, wow. Okay.
He was updating. Gabe won, but yeah, he was updating us.
Congrats, Gabe. But I'll also say super laugh hard. I will help pay for mine too. I do not expect you to pay for that full shipping, please. For the love of God.
So yeah, mine are full color because I'm a snob.
That's awesome.
I love
that because Black Magic is a book that I love, and it's like all black and white. Yeah. All right, Gabe, you are correct. It is Garth Ennis. So, my friend, you win Black Magic, and I know we got your info, so don't worry, we'll get this out to you, buddy. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, man. It's a really, really good title. I absolutely love this book. It's kind of sad that it just takes them forever to create new issues because it's a really strong title, but Rucka and Scott, they just take forever to put it out. All right. Next up, last one for me is Rorschach Deluxe, Tom King.
Whoa, can I get in on this?
That's a great book, man. I actually didn't really want to part with it, but I was like, well, I gotta come up with something for the giveaway. It is the time of giving. So yeah, I've given away like pretty much everything else. I don't know. I give away stuff all the time. So Rorschach Deluxe. Let's see. Oh no, I don't want. I was gonna say I got one, but I don't want to do it because it would ruin the story if you haven't read the story. So never mind. I was gonna ask a question from this book, but that wouldn't make sense. Okay, give me. So the writer of this book is Tom King. Give me 3 comic book titles that Tom King has done, minus Rorschach.
Hey, they're just gonna Google that, man.
That's fine. Well, people should know that one off the top of their head. It's Tom King.
I don't know Edison by Tom King.
Please check your Wi-Fi network.
Alexa's talking to me. Oh, there she goes again.
Man, you keep one of those around you?
No, it's part of my sound bar. I have a Polk Audio sound bar, and it's like built into the sound bar, and so it won't. It's annoying.
Yeah.
So while we are waiting for the answers, what you are reading right now?
What are we reading?
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot of Brubaker stuff. I'm trying to do a must-read Brubaker series video, which just means talking about everything he's ever written. Because I mean, everything's gold. It's all incredible. Like, how do you not write anything that's bad? I just don't understand. I need to find something like obscure that Brubaker wrote at the start of his career, like Zoids or something stupid like that, and just shit on it. But yeah, so I've been reading a lot of Brubaker stuff, which is leaves you in an interesting state of mind for sure at the end of the day. But then I've also been reading. One of my friends is really into this Japanese manga called Bleach, so I've been reading it for the sake of being able to talk to him and make him happy. And thankfully, they have it all in full color, because I know for the most part, if people don't know, manga is black and white. But there are some fans who colored it digitally themselves and uploaded it all online. So I've been reading that. It's been interesting. The coolest thing about manga for me is getting into the brain of a Japanese person, the Japanese writer, because like their ideas, the way they tell stories, the things their characters have problems and conflicts about is so different from stuff that happens in like Western or European culture. So it's really interesting to see like their perspective and the way they complain about their government, and their corporations and industries. But that's kind of what I've been reading. And Absolute Multiversity and Ascender. I got the deluxe in. Man, Ascender is fantastic. Holy
I
shit.
told you it was good.
Oh my god, it's so good. Jeff Lemire is amazing.
I love Dustin's art in those books, dude. There's something about his art in those books that I just absolutely love.
Yeah. Yeah. That book and Dustin Nguyen's art, it's one of those things where if I ever opened up a book without knowing who Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen are, that artwork would probably make me it wouldn't make me prioritize the book. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but once you start reading it and then like the way it fits the story, you're like,
Yeah.
dude, this is fucking incredible.
You can't put it down.
Yeah.
You
The
gotta
art
finish it.
fits so incredible. That's why I said like same thing with Little Monsters. Dustin's art with Lemire on Little Monsters. Same exact thing. Like you look at it in the art, you're like, but then you start reading it and the way that like the story fits with the art, it's phenomenal. It's kind of like Lemire with like Essex County and shit. Like
Right.
you look at the art and you go, but then you start reading it and like the way it all fit, you're just like, this is incredible. I can't think of any other artist to do this book. If any other artist tried to do this book, it would fuck it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It fits that book. Which is why like when Dustin did Batman and Robin, I was kind of like, can't really get on board with that one. But when he does his like creator stuff, I absolutely love it. It's amazing. It fits so incredibly well. And I love my Tim 21 skeleton shirt that I bought from his Big Cartel website.
Yeah.
And my Crow shirt that I bought. He's awesome. Anyway, Gabe won Rorschach. Good job, Gabe. I'll send you that one along with Black Magic. So there you go, buddy. You got 2 new books to read. Save your little 17-year-old money, and now you get new books to read.
That's right.
Mike, did you have anything?
I do. I have one thing I'll give away.
Keep in mind, Mike's in Canada.
I'm in Canada, so we'll talk about shipping. But I'm giving away Absolute Green Arrow, Green Lantern.
Holy fuck!
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's a great,
big one. It is a fantastic book, an excellent book. I'm trying to think of a good question on the theme of the book, but like you said, that just means someone will have read it already.
Who's the artist on the book?
Yeah, we could throw that. We could throw that question out there. Who's the artist on Absolute Green Arrow, Green Lantern, written by Dennis O'Neil?
Dude, I'm jealous of that one. I want to enter this one.
It was a book I was gonna sell because I need to get rid of. I need space on my shelf. All right, we got a winner.
Matthew Tonks looks like he got in there first.
There you go. It must have been a split second, the tiniest hair. Well, but it's okay. Beach Boys already won.
Yeah, he did win earlier.
So it's cool. Okay, Matthew Tonks. How did we do this before?
What?
With people reaching out?
Oh, just via Instagram. Just message
via Instagram, right? That's right. Yeah.
Also, Matthew Tonks had asked earlier to see the Starman spine.
That's right.
And I said I was going to show it, and I forgot. So there is the Starman spine.
Volume 1?
This is Volume 2.
Does it match Volume 1?
Oh, does it match? Oh, it does, actually.
Well, thank fuck for that.
I don't know. It actually does really well. Which is kind of makes me, not sad that I'm going to custom bind him because I'm going to make him fucking badass. Right. But
Matthew's also Canadian. God bless. Thank you, Matthew. I'm glad you won. This will make it easier for everyone.
Perfect. No. You can send those custom dreads. It's all good, man.
Hey, man.
I still collect customs.
Customs are the are the things that I don't want to sell anymore all that much, unless it's like some of my Valiant stuff. I don't know why. It just feels so much nicer to have those. And
Well, and I still got those Valiant Deluxes too, dude. That our boy Thomas Judge sent us.
I guess, Krivtsov, I wanted to ask you, my friend, our professional graphic designer, would you ever want to do like dust jacket design or like graphic cover designs for custom binds or anything like that?
Possibly if it doesn't require making up new art. If it's like
Oh yeah,
making something of existing art, like from a cover of a book or something like this, of course.
right. Okay.
Talking
Let
of
me-
Valiant, I just started reading, going through the full reading order of the 2012 reboot.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Holy shit! Yeah, it is. How I guess, yeah. So you're going through the reading order. When did you start? Like recently or?
10 hours ago, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Nice. That's awesome.
I was trying to jump back into comics to be at least somewhat prepared
Yeah. No.
to
Sure.
the show.
Hey, I mean, you of all people to join this show, I think the amount of work you've put into this show and the fan that you've been, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts. The
Oh,
new
I love that.
logo,
That's the new one that he
dude,
did.
it's so amazing.
I stole that one,
I
added
love the
some
shit out of
color
that.
and
I,
some shadowing
I'll
behind
send
it.
you files in a high resolution to your email today.
Awesome. Oh, the custom bind demon. Yeah, I took that one. I put I put the the THC green behind it, and then I took some purple like shadowing kind of thing, and then I grabbed some pictures from another thing that we did and added them on, and that's our new background for our YouTube channel stuff. I was like, I really like this kind of design thing now, so I did update it, so it's actually on our YouTube banner, I guess you could say. Is that what it's called? The YouTube banner, page banner, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Also, you were asking earlier what everybody was reading. I am currently reading. Well, I'm trying to read a bunch of like indie titles that came out in 2022 because I want to do a video on like the best indie titles of 2022. So I recently wrapped up Do a Power Bomb, which I absolutely loved. That is such a great title. I highly recommend it. It's like 7 issues. The other one, I'm almost done with 8 Billion Genies. Or almoed caught up, I should say, with 8 Billion Genies. That's another one that's absolutely incredible and a lot of fun. Anytime you get Charles Soule and Ryan Brown on a book together, it's always a good time. What else have I been reading? Little Monsters, love Little Monsters, Radiant Black, Vanish. Ooh, that reminds me of the new issue of Vanish. Image emailed us, so I need to read that new issue of Vanish that drops next week. Oh, I Hate Fairyland is back out, dude. Did you know that?
Is it?
There's a sequel.
Holy shit!
Issue 2 drops next week. We got a preview from Image that I was like, and I forgot all about it because I saw issue 1 like a month ago, and I thought it was like something else. I didn't think it was like a sequel title, but yeah, it's like a volume 2. So I was like, holy shit, I need to read this.
I hate that whenever a series like that comes back, the first thought to my mind is Scotty Young needed money. But it's okay. He could have done any title he wanted to.
Oh, Shirtless Bear Fighter 2. I read that one. That one's a lot of fun.
That's awesome, though. I mean, I Hate Fairyland. It's a great time.
It is. Let's see.
So you've been diving fully into the image or indie
into the
world.
indie world of books, like Specs, and I know I talked about some of these last time. So I've been reading those. Oh, I've also been reading Die. I got that deluxe in,
That's
so
right, yeah,
I've been reading Die. Dude, it is so like I
yeah.
read it digitally to begin with and I enjoyed it, but this time I'm reading it physically in that oversized deluxe edition. And I gotta say, dude, it is so much better physically than it is digitally. Like some books are just meant to be read physically, and Die
Yeah.
is definitely one of those books.
Yeah.
So if you guys are kind of sitting, I need to do an overview on it, honestly. But if you guys are kind of sitting on the fence about whether or not to grab Die, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is a very, very good title. I also just recently picked up Ultimate X-Men Omni Volume 1 and Spectacular Spider-Man Omni. For like they were damaged copies, so I got them like dirt cheap on eBay. So I got those that have been recently added. And then I will be reading Star Wars Bounty Hunters. That'll be a lot of fun. But
Nice.
so Raphael said, is it expensive to make a custom bind? Approximately how much do you guys pay? That is a very loaded question because there is so many different answers because it depends on a wide variety of things. Just to give you a ballpark, depending on what you want, I would say it could go anywhere, at least in the US, it could go anywhere from $30 for just a super basic one, all the way up to like $80-$90 for a more graphic cover, all the bells and whistles, all that kind of stuff, and then various prices in between. So between 30 to 90, and then various prices in between here in the US, I would say. And then whatever the material cost you to actually get the material to bind it, whatever that is as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Canada's kind of the same thing in Canadian dollars. I've never done graphic covers, but in terms of like just buckram binds, some places if you do like 10 or more books, they'll do 25 each. Otherwise it's like $30 average, which makes me so you remember last time we did a live stream, I mentioned Lehman hadn't reached out to me. They're not picking up my phone calls. I call multiple times every day throughout a week since we last spoke. They don't pick up any of my calls, don't respond to any of my messages. I mean, I don't know. I think next week I may just drive there. I'm on vacation from work. They're literally 10 minutes from me. I might just drive there and be like, what's going on here,
You're
guys?
gonna have to, man. That's some BS.
It's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. We had a good thing going.
Very, very much so.
Good few years.
Comic that said he's reading Mark Waid's The Flash. I want that Omni very badly. I just didn't feel like shelling out $80-something for it at this point in time. But I've read it digitally, but I really want to read like the physical edition. So I'm waiting on that one. But yeah, I really want to read that.
Have you read Wade's Batman Superman or World's Finest? World's Finest. He's been doing that recently for DC.
I have not read anything recent except for like some indie stuff. Anything from the big two, I have not read anything recently. I have a hard time keeping up with the things that I'm super interested in, let alone like new things that pop up. So
yeah,
I just don't have time, and it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up on.
Someone recently asked on one of our videos if we'll do a 5 must-read recent Marvel runs and series, but
I haven't read any Marvel, so
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have, and I don't know if I could come up with 5 must-read Marvel titles.
I mean, I could give you like 5 Marvel titles, like in general. I could even give you one.
Right. I can name 5 Marvel titles.
I could even give you 5 really must-read ones from the last like few years, but from 2022, I don't think I've read a Marvel title from 2022 like at all.
You did mention a new Donny Cates title though that you were enjoying.
Vanish,
that's it.
Yeah, that's Image.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, like I said, I've read like the only new stuff I've read I haven't even read DC from 2022 to be honest. Well, maybe I read some Batman. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I read anything from the big two in 2022.
I recommend Action Comics since Philip Kennedy Johnson took over. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this epic fantasy sci-fi thing with Mongol, where like the first arc is like 18 issues long. It's sick.
All right, cool. No, I'll definitely check it
It's
out.
epic.
I just
Really epic.
have so many interests when it comes to life and comics and music and movies and shows I want to watch, and then I
Sure.
got my kids and work, and I just don't have time to do everything I want to do, and I'm just having a very hard time deciding like what I'm gonna do. And when like video games are coming out, and I'm like, there's just too much. I have too many interests and not enough time.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that Batman Spawn would be dope. I read the old when I was a kid, I read the original Batman Spawn.
That reminds me, Greg, we spoke about artists who have done metal covers. Capullo did a bunch, right? He did like a bunch of Disturbed albums.
Yeah, Capullo is dope.
Disturbed. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Their new album, not too bad, honestly, for Disturbed.
So real quick here, we gotta wrap it up here pretty soon. Mike's got some plans tonight. Apparently he's gonna watch Black Adam.
At a housewarming party.
Oh,
Let's go.
I gotta go take care of my kids because I'm sure I have my older ones taking care of them right now, but it's not too much of them. They're old enough that they can take care of themselves, but yeah. So I gotta go like do the dad thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I remember last live stream, I think there was some crying at the end of it. So
yeah, there was.
It happens. Yeah. You got these like super adult responsibilities.
I do.
While us young guys here, right, Kirstov, we don't have to worry about shit. Well, I don't. No, Kirstov has actual problems in the country.
My daughter, my oldest daughter, she actually wants to watch a movie tonight with dad. So we're gonna have some father-daughter time, and we're gonna watch a movie and cut up some sausage and some cheese and crackers, and we're just gonna kind of hang out and watch a movie tonight. So she's looking forward to that. So real quick here, flying through some stuff. I accumulated a crazy silly run of everything Batman with the intention of custom binding it all, and now I can't bring myself to do it because the cost of binding and the value of many issues. Yes, I was in that, but I still got a lot of them bound, and then I even had some that another collector had bound but was getting rid of his collection, so I bought those, and I'm like, well, that helps narrow down a lot of it. But yeah, I still have like a lot of Batman comics to bind, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it either. But I feel you there, most definitely. Some other good indies I'm reading: The Boogeyman and Duel. I have not heard of either of those. Have you?
No.
I might have to check those out.
Yeah,
those sound intriguing. As far as the 5 best must-read Marvel, Daredevil ×5.
I hear
the Chip Zdarsky run, which I heard was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I hear he's doing good work over there.
Let's see. Wade's Superman and Batman is really good. Is that the World's Finest one that you were talking about?
I think so, yeah.
And then plus check out his Batman versus Robin, also good. Chicken Devil and Dark Spaces Wildfire.
All right, these are just. It sounds like this
are
is.
Are you just entering words into a random word generator? What the hell is going
Dark
on
Spaces
here?
Wildfire.
Dark Spaces Wildfire and Chicken Devil. Like that just sounds like a made up password. Like. Yeah. Well, like one of my buddies pointed out at work, he goes, hey, did you know that you can just enter in like random 20 letters and you don't have to like capitalize or add special characters or anything? And I go, oh, I didn't know that. He goes, yeah, so go on to some website he gave me, and he goes and click on like 20 word passwords or 20 letter passwords or something like that. And it just gives you like funny, like I'm not going to tell you guys what my current one is until I reset it, but when I can tell you guys, it's hilarious, and it's like one of my favorite passwords I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
But he's had some funny ones, like I don't even remember what all they were now. Something about carrots and sleeping and rabbits. I don't know. It was funny, but he's got some like you just random. It's really funny. So that's what that reminds me of. Get a copy of the reprint of Cover Volume 1 by Bendis and Mac. It is a pain in the arse to search for. I don't know about that one either. I like Bendis and I like Mac, but I'm not familiar with that one.
You like Bendis? What are you talking about?
Dude,
Making
Bendis
stuff
has
up.
done some solid shit. Maybe not for DC, but Bendis has done some
He probably has taken some solid shits. I'll give you that.
He has. I know from experience.
So a
Batman
Cleveland
the
teamer he
Imposter has been the
left.
best Batman book that's come out in years. They will come to you, Mike. What's gonna come
Let
to
him
you?
come.
I missed that.
Lehman?
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
I'd
Maybe
love it if they came to me. Are you
maybe
kidding
off
me?
my shelves is somebody from Lehman, and they're like, "I know something you
Just
don't
tell
know."
me what's up with my books, man. That's all I want to know. I want to pay for them.
Yes, Gabriel, we will get you on the show and interview you, man. Don't
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about that. Chicken
Once we're
Devil.
legally
Someone else
allowed
is
to.
jumping on and saying Chicken Devil's really
Chicken
good.
Devil? Really?
The Chicken Devil's a real thing.
That sounds like that. The Chicken Devil sounds like it would be like an
Aftershock
anime.
and IDW, and I do
Okay.
like some Aftershock. So, and you like Aftershock. Aftershock puts out some great books.
They also employ pretty decent ladies for their booths.
That they do.
Chicken
yeah.
Devil. If I Google Chicken Devil, I'm seeing recipes for Sri Lankan chicken. So I don't know what we're talking about here. No, it's an Aftershock comics title. Yeah.
Yeah, now I gotta search the Chicken Devil. Let's type in Chicken Devil Aftershock.
It's by
Is that gonna
Brian.
be like pictures of...
It's by Brian Buccellato. I don't know if you ever saw that name before, but when I was getting into comics, I saw his name on a few titles. He did Flash with Francis Manipool in the New 52. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. That's where I know him from.
Why do I remember
Flash.
this? Why do I remember this stupid shit?
Okay,
Brian
I'm looking at
Buccellato.
the covers right now of this, and I gotta say,
It looks like a great time.
yeah, I gotta say, I am highly fucking intrigued by this.
Yeah, it looks like the next shirtless bear fighter. It looks like it could potentially be up there next. I mean,
I'm assuming it's comedic. Is it comedic? Whoever has recommended this, I'm assuming it's comedic. Watch it, be like, no, dude, it's not comedic at all. Like, it's like hardcore.
it's the new Crossed.
Yeah,
it's a chicken-inspired vigilante taking on the Russian mob.
That's gotta be funny. Can he protect his childhood?
Christoph, does it feel like Russia's being an enemy in very many American entertainment fictions lately?
Not lately, but in 80s and 90s there was a lot.
Oh yeah,
like in your
Hunt for
like
Red
in your
October.
classical action movies.
Yeah, like all the diehards and Hunt for Red October and
yeah. Who's been? I feel like the Cartel has been getting it the most lately out of everyone.
Yeah.
From Hollywood.
Dark Spaces Wildfire is by Scott Snyder.
Interesting. Maybe it's one of those like comicsology series he did.
Yeah, because he was doing a lot of those. He had like 5 or 6 different books he was doing for that comicsology series.
Yeah.
Dark Spaces Wildfire. Well, I do like myself some Scott Snyder. So
do you think at this point, so at a certain point in time in like 2011, the Tiny Onion was kind of like a student of Snyder. Do you think the Padawan has passed
the
master? Do you think the grasshopper has jumped over its master?
Has he snatched the pebble from the hand?
Exactly. Has he waxed and unwaxed enough that he is a master now himself?
I'm thinking so, man. Tiny Onion, dude. I love that guy. His books are just mind-blowing.
Man, if I had to choose between him and Scott Snyder staying in the industry, I think I'd go with James.
That's just rude. But like, if
I know, but like,
said to me, you can only read creator-owned books by one of these two authors. Who do you pick? I'm going Tiny Onion.
Tiny Onion, yeah.
Hell, even if you said you can only read Batman. You can only read the Batman books by either Tiny Onion or Scott Snyder. Who do you choose? I'm going Tiny Onion.
Ooh, interesting.
Dude, he did detective. You can't tell me that New 52 Batman was better than Tiny Onion's detective run. No way in hell was that book better. Nope. I refuse to even hear it.
But dude, like metal and stuff, would that count?
No, because that's not Batman. Well, I guess neither's detective, really, because it's a
Exactly.
family
Now we've painted ourselves into a corner. This is like a Tarantino movie. We're gonna shoot each other.
Yeah. But no, I'm gonna have to check. Oh, someone else said it didn't come out in 2022, but Cromwell Stone was one of my favorite reads this year.
Interesting.
So many books to add to my list.
Put it on the list.
There is a trailer for Cromwell Stone on YouTube.
Oh. Hey, Kristoff, I wanted to ask, you mentioned there's a lot of big two, but you're a fan of, you mentioned Brubaker and Ennis, who either primarily, they do the big two their own way, which is not the usual way, or like Ennis, they just straight up shit on it by making titles like The Boys. Do you keep up with the big two? Do you care about the big two at all, even when you were a comic fan?
Not at all. I kind of came across Ennis, Spawn, and Brubaker and stopped. It was all Ennis titles, all McFarlane titles, and Brubaker.
You found your holy trinity, and you stayed there. It's as religious as you got. Okay, gotcha. Good to know.
Well, update on Starman.
Wait, what is that? What am I?
Spawn.
Oh shit! Okay, wow, damn. Do you like I guess have you been a fan of other stuff McFarlane's done aside from Spawn? I know he's been involved in some video games and other media.
I'm not a big video game guy, and I haven't seen Spawn movie.
Okay.
I've seen he's doing a lot of cool stuff with his McFarlane Toys company, but I've had his Spider-Man, Venom, and Spawn. That's all.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I can see that. I feel like McFarlane was like a pinnacle for a lot of people. I don't dislike his artwork. I just, I started reading. I guess I read comics at a different time when different artists were into it, but. I feel like for a lot of people, McFarlane was that turning point where they really got into comics. Spawn, have you watched like the animated show for Spawn at all?
Yeah. Basically, in 2000s, we had a small publisher that tried to go the American way of comics publishing by selling weekly single issues.
Oh.
And that was the first time when I came across characters like Spider-Man, Batman. The funny thing was that they were putting out at the same time Ultimate Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man. And I didn't know at the time that there was two different universes. So at the one moment, I remember I came across this issue when Spider-Man dies, and the next week I came to the shop and there was new Spider-Man issue.
Right, yeah.
I was trying to understand what is going on, but till I think 2015 when I came back to comic stuff and finally realized what was going on with all these universes. And in 2015, one of my friends in the metal community, we were hanging out, and he was wearing a Spawn t-shirt. And the first thing I recognized was, of course, the logo. It looks like a metal band logo, but different.
Right.
I asked him about it, and he recommended me to watch animated series. That's how
Okay.
I came back to all comic stuff.
Gotcha. Do you like pay attention to comic logos now? As you know, I know you don't keep up with comics as much, but do you like, look at them once in a while to see like for example, there's a series out there called Murder Falcon, which is kind of about a guy who's in a
Yeah, I
metal
know.
band. So I'm sure you've seen like the logo for that. I mean, things like that. Do you ever look at those and kind of, aspire to do that one day? Or
Yes, so the years I how to appreciate way more just your typical corporate design. So every time I look at any logo, I trying to pick any details, what was used in making of it. Sorry, kind of like in English.
yeah, no, take your time.
So yeah, anything lettering related interests me.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the fact that in comic industry in States you have your letter appreciation day. That thing
Right.
blew me away.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting to think that someone's job is letterer, but then you read a book like Sandman and you look at the different styles of lettering, the different styles of bubbles that they have, the different fonts that they've like come up with just for this specific group of characters whenever they talk. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've always wondered like who does that stuff, like the graphic, like the dust jackets and the graphic designs from it. Is there one person doing all the work for Marvel? I feel like it would be realistic, right? Like I don't think you need more than one person to make every logo for all your titles, right? Like all your comic series.
For the most part, as I don't, I understand it. In the 80s and 90s, every artist would do his own lettering for his books, and
Interesting.
he wouldn't let anyone touch his pages.
Huh. Okay.
Instead, of course, besides colorist and inker. But now I know this guy Nate Piekos. He's quite huge. He has his website with lettering, and he makes, as I understand, he makes most part of the image logos and lettering, and Valiant maybe, if I'm
Mhm.
not wrong.
Mhm.
But with even with all the technology, I think that for artists making their own lettering as they go through page, it's much easier because making your font document that will work, like your TTF or OTF, it
Right.
can take up to 3 weeks just for one font because it's thousands of combinations of letters, glyphs,
Uh,
numbers, and all the symbols. And you
gotcha.
have to go through all of them to make it work properly.
Hmm. Like the spacing between each combination, things
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Shit, I never even thought about that. I thought you would just do every letter and then it's from there. But you're right. Like the spacing matters between each one, depending how you want like certain words to look, or like combinations of letters to look. Damn, I never thought about that. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to think of names that I've seen for like letterers, but yeah, I mean for the most part, it's probably only a handful of people that do it all. Um, yeah, it's just such a crazy industry, especially things like, I mean, I feel like I'm still growing up day by day, so thinking about things like whenever I'd look at like a music album cover, I'd never think that, hey, someone actually put in the time and effort to draw this stuff. And now especially with like AI artwork, most artwork I look at, I don't even know what's real anymore. I'm wondering if an AI made it. I look at some reels on Instagram where it's like this really, it almost looks like you're on acid, and it's just like changing imagery, and they're like, it's AI generated. I'm like, I legitimately thought I was on acid while watching this video. Yeah, I mean, it's is that something I guess you've experimented with? Is it something you worry about like AI art?
No, I haven't experimented with it. I'm way more worried about it. So not on the logo side. I'm kind of safe because in the logo there's a lot more structure that goes into it than just a random art that can be generated.
Right.
With AI learning from thousands of artists that existed.
Right.
But I see a huge wave of some scammers that basically generate AI art and try to sell it as their own.
That's a great point. That's definitely right around the corner. I mean, none of the
It's
like
right
none.
here, right now, all of it.
Yeah. Have you been seeing it? Have you
Yeah,
heard it
it's
happening? Yeah.
quite a big problem. Yeah,
Shit.
I every day I speak to metal designers from all around the world. We have a little community on Facebook, and we've seen few quite big downfall of commissioned artwork for upcoming releases. Everyone now says I'll just pay 5 or 20 or whatever dollars and get
Right.
AI art in 20 seconds.
Shit. Yeah. I mean,
Like your average album cover will cost you from
$5.
experienced artist will cost you from $200 to $500 easily. So paying just $5 to AI, it's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially when they can spit like 100 pictures at you. Yeah, like you said, in seconds. And you can choose and tell it to evolve from one specific image that you selected. Um, yeah, it's unfortunate. I kind of get worried with stuff like that because AI art is built on human art that came before. But human, like, I
yes.
don't know. The thing I always wonder is,
So
well, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
so basically, AI stole steal everything that was ever created and makes new art out of it.
Right.
So you basically stealing art from someone in 18th century,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of.
It's crazy. I mean, it has the entire internet for a reference. It kind of makes me wonder, though, and I think that the big debate for artists and people who are interested in art in general is, can AI make something creative, or is that something that only humans could have ever done? You know, like, is AI ever only going to make something that looks kind of similar to what we've seen before, or will it ever create
If
something completely, you know?
if we ever get to the point when I can make something creative and not learning from things that the things from the past, I think art would be the least out of our problems because we'll be much closer to Skynet at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a fair point. I'm trying to keep it in the art world, but yeah, things would be a lot worse than just artwork if AI got creative. You're absolutely right. That's that Russian perspective right there. That's the hey, you're worried about art? No, no, no. Your family's not eating food, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. Do you have so I know you've mentioned that you're not necessarily as deep as Matt and I are in the comic book world. Are there any, and you've mentioned you really like artwork. Are there any artists that you really like aside from like Todd McFarlane, who I'm sure is in your like top 5? Are there any other comic artists that you've always really liked a lot?
Steve Dillon, of course,
Right,
because
right.
of his work with Ennis.
And it's, yeah.
I always loved his ability to draw hundreds of characters with one face. It's just amazing.
That is, yeah. It is true. Steve Dillon's faces all look the same. They have minor differences, hair color, a little birthmark here, or something here. Yeah, it's yeah. Steve Dillon's great though. It's really unfortunate that he passed. But it's nice we get all his artwork. That's the cool thing about art is that person's. I mean, Steve. As long as I'm alive, I know Steve Dillon will not go away because I'll keep talking about Preacher and whatever other stuff he's worked on, Punisher. So he's never going to go away in my brain. But yeah, I guess have you so since you've been a comic fan, I guess have you ever looked into I don't know what's the like in terms of creators coming to Russia? Are there conventions? Is there anything where you could maybe meet Ennis one day or you know?
From this year and forward, I don't think so. But
Right.
before all this started, we had a Russian Comic Con in Moscow, which was huge, and a lot of artists been coming here.
Interesting.
Artists and pop stars, everyone. But I never went there.
Okay.
I'm kind of introverted. I don't like many people around.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Comic Cons are fun though. You should try it out. It feels like I'm the same way where I'm introverted, but with Comic Cons, it feels like you're all in the same thing, you know, like it feels like everyone's being introverted together. If that makes sense. Where everyone's kind of keeping to themselves. But yeah.
The same as with live shows and concerts.
Right.
It's just a big meeting of introverts and nerds.
Yeah. That is that's one of the cool things about concerts is headbanging or jumping up and down to a song and then turning to the person next to you. They're doing the same thing. Everyone's happy, feeling the vibe, feeling the energy. Yeah. It's great.
Have you ever stage dive?
I personally never have. I mean, I've been in mosh pits and I'm too old for that now at this point. I remember, there was one time, the last time I was in a mosh pit, there were these two guys who probably weighed like 400 pounds. I don't know what that is, like 250 kilos. And they were just like, they were friends and they were just they were just pushing each other over and over again. So you had one 400-pound guy with momentum pushing another 400-pound guy with momentum. And they were just like bowling balls, just flying across the room, just destroying everyone. One girl fell to the floor, her nose was bleeding, she had to leave the concert, and these idiots, these bowling balls just kept going round and round. After that I was like, you know what, I love the music so much that I'm just gonna hang back a little bit, get the better sound quality near the speakers, and just hang out there. It got old.
I feel like Matt already tired and wants to jump off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Most concerts I go to, it just seems like as soon as one person stage dives, there's already another person getting pushed onto it. But yeah, I guess yeah. What can you do? I also typically go see smaller bands. I'm not going to like Metallica shows or anything. Most of the bands I listen to now are smaller. They're from like Australia, England, the US, and they're just smaller bands. So it's usually smaller venues, just sweaty as hell by the end of a show. Went to a concert last week. It was a good time. This past week. It's great.
Sorry, my 5-year-old was asking me about his RoboFish.
Robofish.
Yeah, it's these little fucking fish. You battery operated, put them in the water, and they fucking swim.
Stop.
No, I'm serious.
Really? There
Yeah.
are robot fish you can buy?
Well, they call it RoboFish, but it's
Holy
just
shit.
a fucking battery operated toy. I mean, you put it in the water and it swims around.
Yeah. I mean, dude, 5-10 years ago, throwing electronics in the water was unheard of. Now you're like, yeah, you just put a battery in it, put it in the water, it swims around on its own, whatever.
Yeah,
Super boy.
he was asking about his RoboFish. So I was like, oh, all right, let me wrap up and then I'll come help you.
Yeah.
Damn RoboFish.
Damn, over 2 hours already.
I know, man. Time freaking flies.
I know we started off this episode saying it wasn't a late night episode, but considering we have someone who it's 3 a.m. for right now,
Yeah, it is
it's
a late
been
night
night
episode for him.
Yeah.
So, well, before we wrap things up, just a reminder, everybody, or for people that might be just joining in or what have you. Again, if you donate to a charity of any kind, any amount of money, doesn't matter what charity, what the amount of money is, or anything like that, send a screenshot, send it to our boy here. He'll do a logo for you. It's something that he's doing to help kind of promote, happiness and goodwill across, the world, and it helps him happy when he's able to do logos for people and sing the express. So just everybody just go, even if it's $1, whatever the hell it is, find a charity of your choice, go donate, send him a screenshot. Let's get this man some work. Let's make his day. All right.
Yeah.
And in turn, you might be making someone else's day.
Look, for all the custom binders out there, here's what I'm going to suggest. You get Kristoff to do a custom logo for the word omnibus. Then you go to Houchin or whoever it is that does binds and you tell them make a stamp out of this. And then you've got your own custom omnibus stamp for every custom bind you do in the future.
That would actually be kind of sick, dude. I'm not going to lie. I
don't think that they'll be able to make a stamp out of my regular stuff.
Too many sharp details. Yeah, I guess. Hey, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. You think they can't make that new hardcover comic logo you made for us? For sure they could.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they could do that one because that's a bit more blocky. But yeah, I bet they could do that one.
It wouldn't be perfect. It wouldn't be perfect. It definitely wouldn't be the same the same accuracy.
Totally get one made for us, and then anytime we get a custom bind, make it so it's like a slightly smaller logo, not like a big spine logo. Get it so it's slightly smaller, and you just put it on like the back cover of all your books. It's like kind of like property of type thing, right?
Right.
And so then sooner or later, when we pass on or when we sell those customs or what have you, there's always going to be a piece of the hardcover comic floating around out there in the world on these custom binds going forward.
Just have
That's how we keep the legacy of THC alive.
Have Haushin create a stamp for at the hardcover comic for our Instagram tag. They always have our Instagram. We could do the same for Kristoff artwork. Just put it on all our binds.
Dude, I'm not joking. I think I might see about doing that. Getting that block on the new one, the new logo. Seeing about getting that put into a stamp form, like a smaller stamp, and then you just put it on the back of all of your. Dude, that would be sick.
Like a little publisher mark.
Kind of like a publisher stamp, dude. That'd be sick.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Or get it so like it's like a stamp that goes on the bottom of the spine of all of your customs.
Right. Yeah.
That would be dope.
But anyway, we are going to wrap this up. Follow our good friend and amazing human being on social media at Kristoff Artwork. You've been seeing his name on the screen this whole time. Just type in artwork at the end of it and you'll get to his social media. Pretty straightforward if you finished kindergarten.
Yeah, and and for those of you guys that won books, send us a message on Instagram if you haven't already. We'll get your addresses. We'll get everything shipped out to y'all. And again, go donate to a charity of your choice, even if it's just $1, whatever the hell it is. Go donate to a charity of your choice. Send a screenshot to our boy here and get a logo done. You can't ask for a better deal, man. It's happy all around.
Even if you don't want a logo, just let him know that he inspired you to be a good person.
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing.
Even that,
I'm inspired, man.
Say, you know what? I don't know what I need a logo for. Just create something. Let him
Right,
just go to town.
right.
Just give him a word and just
Yeah.
let him go to town. There's so many different cool things that you could do with this. So, and
Yeah.
especially with the holiday seasons coming up, you can get it, put it on some like digital or not e-gift cards, but like put on like digital e-holiday cards or whatever, you know. There's lots of cool stuff that you could
Right.
do. So everybody go do that though. Sincerely.
Yeah.
Let's help this man out.
Honestly.
Let's help promote positivity and spread love across the world.
Yeah, and I hope soon we can directly support you because I mean you're an incredible person, Krivtsov, and we're glad we could have you on the show.
Yeah, man. It's good
It's
to finally
amazing.
like talk to you in person instead of just over Instagram for all these
Yeah,
years.
yeah. It's honestly, I mean, I'm just amazed, man. I mean, here you're already going through a tough time living in Russia at this moment in history, and you're still not even worried about yourself too much, which is just crazy to me. So, mad respect.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
Stay
for
safe,
letting me
and
in.
we will definitely be in touch with you, man. But stay safe, especially if
Yeah,
January
please.
things start popping off again.
Yeah. Wish you all the
Thanks.
best, man.
All right,
Good
thank you,
luck.
man. Have a great one.